Hello lovelies, welcome to a movie review. I actually wasn't sure what I wanted to do this week, but thanks to those of you on Twitter who voted, I'm doing a horror movie review about the Wolves at the Door movie. Beware, there are going to be spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, I believe it's available on HBO Max. So, I recently watched it and didn't know that it was about the Manson killings. Mostly because it didn't say anything about the Manson killings in the description of this movie, so I had no idea what this was actually about. I just knew that it was going to be like one of those survival slasher movies. So starting this film, it reminded me a lot of The Strangers because of how the killers were in the house without the inhabitants knowing, showing that they could kill them at any moment, but were calculating how to contain them and extend the time before they actually killed them. So in Wolves at the Door, they actually barricade one of the doors. In The Strangers, they destroy the vehicle. So there's a lot of similarities in that regard. That doesn't mean that the Wolves at the Door is taking aspects from The Strangers or vice versa. It's just a commonality that I noticed. The other interesting aspect was throughout the movie, the viewer never gets a good view of the intruders. Their faces are either really dark, so you can't see, or the camera is either shifted away from their faces, so you see their feet, or shadows, what have you. Which is a little bit like The Strangers, because The Strangers had masks, but this seemed a lot more unnerving to me because they didn't have masks. Their faces were just darkened out, so you couldn't see it. I thought the actors did a phenomenal job portraying their characters. I actually felt their fear, especially when Sharon tries to get away and barricades herself in the bathroom, and I want to say the guy tries to break in with the axe, or no, not the axe. It's a, oh my gosh, what is that weapon called? The sledgehammer, there we go. Okay, the sledgehammer. And she starts freaking out, and she gets dragged out past her friend, who's hiding in, I think, a closet or something. I thought that was terrifying. I honestly was worried about what the killers were going to do to them. And I kind of wish they did show it, but at the same time, I wonder if it'd be too graphic for people to handle. Although, I mean, there's been Saw and Hostel, and those are pretty graphic movies. I honestly don't know much about the Manson murders. I didn't really study those when I was in college. I studied criminal psychology, victimization, and forensic psychology while I was getting my undergrad in forensic psychology. So we studied a lot of killers, criminal cases, and, of course, serial killers. We discussed each serial killer briefly, but I don't know much about Manson. I really don't really remember even covering him, even though I know we did. I just don't really remember him or his group of underlings who did all the killings while he just was the mastermind, or puppeteer as you can call him. Instead, I chose to study Gacy and Richard Ramirez for my finals. If you'd like me to discuss what I learned about those two killers in another video, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to go over those. Their cases were really interesting, especially their childhoods. If you've seen Wolves at the Door. Did you think the movie depicted everything accurately, or were the murders more intense and brutal? I'd love to know more. I might actually research it myself and see what was accurate, what wasn't, compared to this movie. If you enjoyed this film, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Tune in next week for my first live session. I'm either going to play Alien Isolation or Need for Speed Heat. I'm a huge car fan, so it's probably going to be the latter. Hope to see you all there. Take care until next time.